Fellas, you guys seen the thumbnail, man. It is finally time. We get the 4L80 fixed in the turbo truck. You guys know the last time we took this thing out, it didn't go too good, man. You can kind of pretty much hear it there. We might have spun a few clutches or two. Obviously today we're gonna go ahead and open that thing up. If you guys want to see the video taking it out of this truck, that video is gonna be right here. But today, man, the main focus, let me come around here. Still got the truck in the air. That's because we're gonna do a swap. Got the 6.0 swap right there coming soon. For no one that knows the build, people new to the channel, it's currently LM753 turbo. Had a mildly built 4L80. As you guys can tell, that didn't really last too long. So now we're gonna go right here. This is the 4L80 that we took out. We're gonna go ahead and open it, see what's kind of going on inside. Take this thing apart. Got all our goodies right here that are gonna go into the truck. And before we get started with this build, with this video, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little breakdown of everything that's gonna go into the 4L80 because I know a lot of people are gonna be asking. So as far as major upgrades, this is gonna be pretty much everything. There will be other small like maintenance things, but upgrades to hold the power, this is going to be the kit right here. And like I said, everything will be linked in the description. Starting off with our forward hub from Sonnax, it's a billet forward hub, and then we have a billet input shaft. This one is going to be from FTI, the same place that did my converter stall. And then moving on to our clutch kit, obviously we have like all those small little maintenance things, but the main thing is going to be the Red Eagle clutches, the Kolene steels that you have just down right there. And currently I do have these in the transmission. You'll see once we go ahead and get those parts taken apart. The main ones we didn't have was the upgraded intermediate clutches. So previously we had put in the stock ones, but now we're upgrading those to the Red Eagles. And another nice upgrade you could do is gonna be this retainer plate, just to improve it, make it stronger, so you don't have any issues later down the road. And then lastly, we have this overrun clutch kit from Sonnax. A bunch of stuff that's gonna be going into the 4L80, so we're gonna go ahead and get it taken apart, get all the goods in. So like I said earlier, once again, everything's gonna be in the description. Some things were from Summit, some things were from the direct websites. I think this is from, certain things were from Transparts, the actual warehouse. I think this kit was from Amazon, but you guys will see the links down below. You guys see it though, man. Truck is still in the air. Feel bad, man. It's been sitting like that for like 3 weeks already. So obviously it's gonna take a while. Gonna have to go ahead, once we do this, tune it and everything. So might be like another month until you see this thing driving again. While we had the transmission out, I was like, we might as well do a swap, get the 6.0 in. A lot of people wanted to see the 6.0 swap on the OBS, but for you guys that know, OBS is getting a 2J, so definitely stay tuned for that as well. It only made sense, bud.
Only makes sense. You gotta do something different, so 2J it is.
You don't know much. Gonna see a lot of 6.0 content coming. And of course, in this video, the 1,000 horsepower 4L80 coming soon, fellas. Let's get into it. So right now, we're gonna go ahead and start off with getting the pan off. That's kind of the same way we did it last time. Get all these individual bolts off. Then we get our first, not really internal look, because most of the internals are gonna be right here. Got a nice little slushy situation going on here.
Definitely a lot of clutch material in there, so something definitely let go.
There you go, puddle over there.
Yeah, look at that. It's all clutch material.
I think it's safe to say our clutches went bye-bye. Harness comes out pretty easy. Just put a socket there, give it some love taps, then it just slides out like that. Probably should get a new harness. I mean, it still works fine. Wires are a little crispy, but I mean, like I said, it still works fine. And like I was saying earlier, for people that don't know the build, we already rebuilt this trans. So a lot of this stuff probably looks new or is new. We won't be replacing every single thing. So if you guys are in the comments saying I should have done this, done that, more than likely we already did it in the last rebuild. So the main thing for this build is pretty much just beefing it up. Got gunk everywhere in this thing. You're gonna have to do a nice degrease, nice cleanup on this thing. We just went ahead and got the check balls out. Mine does have the HD2 shift kit, so I think with that you do you delete one check ball. So we took out 7. I think the regular is 8. Yeah, so we just took out 7 of our check balls. So we're just about done with the underside. We'll go ahead and take this off, and then we could finally move on to the internals. Got that off. Now just got 2 screws, one right there, one down there. Once we take those off, then we should be able to access everything inside. There you have it. That's pretty much the whole breakdown for the underside of the transmission. Now we'll go ahead and flip it over. Yeah, man, if you want to do this, not too bad, right, bud?
We've only done it like once or twice, and even then it wasn't that bad. And there's a bunch of tutorials online. So.
Lots of videos, including obviously the one we're doing right now, but there's definitely more in-depth videos. If you guys plan on doing this, just go on YouTube. There's some like real detailed videos. This is kind of just a simple rebuild. Once you get all the bolts out for the pump, pretty much just shimmy it. A little pry bar right there. Give it a few little hits. Like that, pump comes out. Got our first set of clutches coming out. Got the red eagles right there. So pretty much we'll just take everything out one by one and then take it apart and then inspect everything. Smells nice, burnt and crispy though. The first two come up just simply picking them up. And then this one, if you have small enough fingers, you can grip it, take it out. So I thought there was a band on it that holds it, but that one also just comes out. Just kind of throwing everything here in the box. Like I said, we'll go ahead and obviously take everything apart. Main thing right now is just getting this thing gutted. Band still looks good. It's this bottom one right here that does have the clip. This is the one I was thinking about right here. Yep. Comes out just like that. Yeah, pull out the clutches first, and then there's going to be another clip under.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh, those are burnt.
And there's our issue right there.
Look at that. That's how hot it is. There's no material on that.
Zero material on that.
There's nothing on it. It's flat with the surface.
Yeah, it used to be a bunch of material there. Now it's all nice and smooth. Damn.
We didn't replace these with any the red eagle clutches.
Yeah.
These are actually
Just
stock clutches. Yeah.
And then that last one after the steels is also going to have another one of those clips. Just got to nudge it out the same way. Yep. So this one came from the HD 2-shift kit. Like I said, a lot of these parts I'm not replacing because they're still relatively new. And on top of that, I put maybe like 2,000 miles on this thing. Not much. All right, we're back with better lighting. As you can tell, we have the 4L80 fully gutted now. We'll go ahead and start breaking parts down. Probably work at the bottom, work our way up, and slowly, little by little, start getting things installed. So on this first piece, the one with the output shaft, all we'll be doing, so this one doesn't have any clutches or anything. Only thing we'll be doing on this, only thing we'll be changing is the bushing bearing right here. I have the kit right here, assuming it has it for that one. So we'll find out right now. We'll go ahead and take that one out, put in a new one, put it back together, and goes back into the 4L80. Pretty simple on this first one. The only thing it has to take it apart is same thing like the other ones, just another ring. I mean, we're comparing it to the new one right now, and it still looks fine. So just to avoid struggling, we're just gonna go ahead and leave that one. That'll also save us just a little bit of time. So we just finished up cleaning the 4L80, degreased it, got all that bad oil out. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to this part where I was explaining earlier, we have that plate that's gonna go ahead and reinforce this. I'll go ahead and let Bud explain what's going on here.
All right, so right here we have, it's like a little upgrade. I think it's from the TH400 transmissions. That replaces this. This is a retainer plate right here. The intermediate, I think, retainer plates. So what this is, it's just a thicker, I think it's a 14 gauge piece of steel that replaces this. Because as you can see right here, with these factory ones, you get little grooves worn into them. As you can see, these 3 little spots right there. And over time, that'll eat it up, break it up, and you can mess up your transmission with that. And so with this little upgrade, that just helps reinforce your transmission and just makes it a lot more reliable.
There you guys see it there. Now this part is kind of hard to find. I got mine on eBay. This person just makes them. It's kind of hard to find them, like I said, online. There's really no shops that sell them, so you kind of have to get lucky. I'll share the eBay link on mine, but it's literally made by a guy in his garage. That's what I'm thinking. So you can see we just got the plate off, and super noticeable. The plate is like super warped already, so definitely worth it. You know, if you're pushing a lot of power, definitely a modification you want to do. Obviously, if you're like stock or NA, maybe you don't need to, but my truck's making 600 wheel right now, and obviously going to push more once we do the 6.0 swap. Just to compare, this plate's a little thicker. We're going to get the springs off, set them in there, and then set our new plate. But pretty obvious, man. You can see this thing is hella warped.
Look how thin the material is on this one. This one, we got a lot more material on there. Not gonna flex as much. With the factory one, just bends that easily.
Other small things we'll do on this is some maintenance stuff. There's small like little O-rings. We'll change this bushing right here, little O-ring right there. Springs come off pretty easy. Just get a little flathead screwdriver.
Pry back on it a little bit and get it under the spring. Pop it up.
So done with that first one. Really didn't do too much on that one, just a nice little cleanup. Yeah, the only thing we did on this one was replace this washer. You have the old one right here. Compare that to the old one. So that's really it. Just a nice clean, degrease, get the old oil out, and then change the washer. So this is that second piece we just cleaned up. Only thing we're gonna do on this is, like I said earlier, change this bushing right here. Got the new one right here, so we just gotta bang that one out and then throw this one in. So we got the new bushing in. You can't really tell because obviously it looks the same, but just with the press, a socket that's like the same size as the hole. Just pressed it out and then got the new one in there. So now we'll go ahead and change all these gaskets, put it back together and move on to the next. All right, so we got some of those new gaskets. Now we'll just go ahead, throw in our springs and our new retainer plate. So these two are pretty much done. Got those all nice and assembled. We'll go ahead and put them together. Get those first pieces back into the 4L80. First thing is setting this plate down at the bottom. You'll see that aligned just like that. Next up is gonna be the reverse pin that just slides on in.
These two tabs right here that will line up with those two tabs. There are two little like nipples sticking out right here on the bottom of the case. We'll just go ahead and put that in.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we'll go ahead and do a snap ring next, and then we'll be able to throw in our first piece of assembly in there. Next up, you're gonna put in that thinner snap ring. This is the thinner one. So that first thin snap ring, that's where that's gonna go right there. As you can see, it's gonna be more on the loose end. That's normal for that. Get a nice look at that. Now we can go ahead and start throwing in the center support and get this thing put together. So we're doing the carrier assembly right now, or the drum. Like I said, you're not really going to be doing this if you're not doing the small maintenance things, but since I'm already here, might as well. Gonna go ahead and put that back together, get our new sprag in. So got the new one here. This of course came with our kit. A few of them are going to fall out. Just gotta place them back in. Once you get all those in, sprag goes in like that, legs facing down. It's gonna look like that, nice and flush. Give it a little twist, should fall into place. There you go. And there you have it, center support assembly. Good to go, fellas. So before we go ahead and put the assembly in, make sure you got the band in, the small ring, the ones we were showing earlier. Go ahead, throw a little oil in there so it goes in nice and smooth. And then this is the tricky part, same way we did it last time. Unless you have a clamp, that's the proper way to do it. But to put it in, just tie a nice, sturdy, strong string to it. And lift it up like that, and then just guide it into the trans. A little sketchy, but we made it work last time the same way. So we got that in, and the way to know that you got it in right is you come down here, make sure these holes all line. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, good to go. So next we'll go ahead and apply the snap ring for that, and then we can move on to the intermediate clutches, which are the ones that burned. You got the old ones right here, they're absolutely cooked, little to no material. And then we got the upgraded ones, should do a lot better. We're gonna go ahead and soak these in oil right now. Got the Kolene steels as well, so we should not have the same issue this time around. And I think the reason this happened is because this being the second gear, I believe that is the one I would usually do pulls in. So I would downshift, ride second gear, and then second would also obviously auto shift into third. So these clutches were getting all the stress. I don't know why in the previous kit we didn't upgrade them, but it is what it is. Now we know. And then the original ones are only 4 clutches. This one being 5. You can see right there, 3 and then 2. So 5 clutches. They're a little thinner, but for the most part, a lot more durable for that heat. Give them a nice little soak. So before you throw in those intermediate clutches, the snap ring you're going to put in is going to be the bezeled one. So this one kind of has a little curve, a little shape to it. So that'll go with the curve kind of facing up. You'll see where it aligns inside. You can see it slide right in there. So after that, you can go ahead and start throwing in your Kolene steels. And then it's going to go clutch, then another steel, clutch. You guys get the deal. And the last thing is going to be the pressure plate. There you go. We're going to go ahead and secure with one of our rings, and it's good to go.
So now we're just going to do a quick check. Check the intermediate clutches. Right here on the center support, about 40 PSI. And then you'll just hear them engage and disengage. And by hearing that, you'll know you're good. You also want to listen to make sure you don't have any leaks, and this one sounds pretty good, so we're good to go.
So we got that tested, everything looks good. Go ahead and throw in our band next.
All right, so right here you want to line up this hole with the little nipple sticking out right there on the case. That, just like that, that simple.
Now we're going to move on to the direct drum. Typically you would have to change the piston inside, but like I said, we already rebuilt this trans once. This thing has like 1,000 miles on it. So we're not going to be changing that just because it's kind of a pain in the neck to get this down, get the ring out, and pull it out. So we're just going to do the clutches, the sprag that's on the other side of it. Being that these clutches we already upgraded in the past, they should be good, but we have new ones, might as well do it. You can definitely feel it on the surface. They're definitely a little warped, as you can tell. Definitely got some heat, but we'll be replacing these with Kolene steels. Got the new clutches soaking. We'll go ahead and get that back sprag out. Got this weird clip thing situation going on, so hopefully that's easy to put on. Pushes out. Yep. Old one comes off, new one just slides over. So the first one that's going to go in is the wave plate. You might think is deformed or warped. That's just the way they look. And then you're going to have 5 steels. They're all going to be pretty similar. They have kind of that squared top and bottom. And of course 5 clutches that follow that. So it's going to go wave plate, steel, clutch, steel, clutch, steel. You guys get the deal. It's going to be the last piece, that thick plate. Just goes over the top of that last clutch. And then you throw in your ring, and you're good to go. So that's all nice and assembled, put together, ready to put back into the trans. But before we go ahead and throw that one in, you want to go ahead and line all your teeth. Make sure all your teeth are lined, because then you're going to struggle putting that in. That's kind of hard to do. So we have all that in place now, looking good, looking pristine. We can move on to the forward hub housing. So this is the one that's going to get the upgraded billet hub. We're going to go ahead, put the new clutches in, put the hub in. This comes up. That's the hub right there that we're changing. Definitely got a little cook to it, but that's why we're changing it. That's one of the weak points, you know, once you start making like 700-800 horsepower, you definitely want to change that.
That style too.
Nothing too bad. Most of the heat went to the intermediate clutches, which is the ones obviously we showed earlier that were burnt to crisp. I guess the further down we go, they're starting to look a little more cooked. So nonetheless, we got the Kolene steels. It's gonna help a lot more. I don't know. Maybe these are cooked too. So we got this one all cleaned up. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw in our new clutches, our new Kolene steels, our new billet hub, get it put together and into the trans. Start off with the wavy plate, the one that looks warped. So if you think it's warped, it's not, it's just wavy. So the order you're looking at, the wave plate, steel, then a clutch, steel, clutch, you guys get the deal. Last thing is going to be the forward hub and then the cover plate. Forward hub goes in. New clutches are in. New billet hub goes in. Once that sets in, you should hear a little bit of metal on metal contact. Top plate, ring, good to go. One update with the Sonnax Forward Hub, it comes with a thrust bearing. Get rid of that old plastic one, and then we'll throw on this one. Gives it a nice little spinaroonie. Now that we have this one in place, we'll go ahead and move on to the section that has the input shaft. This one also has a few clutches in it. We'll go ahead and change those. Throw in our billet shaft and keep it moving along. There you go. Just that little ring that holds the shaft. Real simple dimple. We'll see how these clutches, we'll see right now how these clutches are looking. See if they're cooked or not. So we got our billet shaft in. I didn't really show too much on this one just because it's the same process as all the other ones. Just a clip, throw on your clutches, and then slide in the new billet shaft. Throw on your ring, you're good to go. So now we're just gonna go ahead and add the zip ties to those gaskets because as you can tell on this side, once you throw on those plastic gaskets, they tend to be very loose. And when you try to install this into the trans, it's probably gonna be hard to line up just because of those sagging gaskets. So throw on some zip ties, tighten them up, leave them on there for like a few hours, and then you're good to go. The bottom ones on this side are definitely easier to do with the shaft off. If you plan on doing this, definitely do it with the shaft off before putting it on. So meanwhile, while that sits, like I said, a few hours, we'll go ahead and move on to the tippity top clutches. These are going to be the last ones. Above this is our pump. Of course, going to be another snap ring. Let's see how cooked these look. Got a little hot, got a little warm. They all seem to be pretty similar, especially the steels. The steels are the ones that got the worst on all of them. They all got pretty hot. As far as the warping, we didn't see any that got warped, but you can definitely tell they got hot. Yeah. And the last one. All this has on this end is a seal, no bushings or anything, so that's up to you if you want to change that. We'll go ahead and change ours. You can see right there. And then another one right there. It looks like it's going to be these two right here. So now we'll go ahead and throw in our new Kolene steels, clutches. It's going to be a steel first. These will only go in one way. You got the butterfly tail that go into that smaller space. Goes on top, and then throw on that cover plate. You're good to go. All right, so we're back a few hours later. We let those zip ties settle in. Check it out. Still not perfect, but definitely a lot better. Yeah, this hole's gonna line up with your bolt. That's gonna go right there, so that's how you'll know if that's lined up correctly. Holes are lined up. Comes with a new bolt in the kit. So that's sitting nice and flush right there. Now we go ahead and move on to the pump. A few bolts, just give it a clean up. Really just gonna give it a nice little degrease, little clean, and then just slap it back together. We thought earlier for a sec this had a little chip in it, but that's just the way they look for some reason. New bushing on the drum. We did a few different ones, but it's pretty simple. Take it out, put it in. That means our gears go back in. Throw a little oil on there just for a little bit of lubrication. So we got our bolts in. Now we use our handy dandy band to line it up, make sure it lines up good. So we got that band tightened up. Now we're gonna go ahead and hit each bolt with 18 foot-pounds. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Then once you get the pump in, it's gonna be 18 foot-pounds for these bolts again. All right, so we have all the internals on that done. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the valve body. And like I mentioned earlier, the only thing we're gonna be doing on this is gonna be the SmartTech Overdrive or Overrun clutch kit. And then we're also gonna be doing like a plate block off delete. So that block off plate is basically gonna delete this whole section, get rid of all this. Right now we're gonna go ahead and get it all taken apart, get it degreased, get it cleaned up. We've already gone ahead and drilled the 2 little holes. I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. Basically all this does is it kind of reroutes, helps oil get into those lower gears. Pretty much just extends the life of the transmission. Cool little mod to help with reliability. It's gonna be these 2 right there, and then one in that tiny little corner right there if you can see it. Everything comes with the kit. So the drill bits, you already know what you're pretty much doing. So the larger ones are going to be 180 thousandths, and then the smaller one's going to be 109 thousandths.
Just comes with this drill jig, makes it pretty easy. Little alignment dowels, gives you your 3 spots for drilling. You drill that in all the way. You drill in this one all the way. And then this one, you have to mark it to a certain depth to drill 1 and 9/32. Marked it right here with a piece of tape, because if you drill it too far, you'll go into the other passage, and you don't want to do that. Like that, just like that.
Pretty simple and straightforward. We'll go ahead and start off with the block first, just like that. Gonna go ahead and put together the Sonnax valve manifold. We got these few little pieces right there.
Got your valve inside there. Is your spring.
Spring goes next. Go into the manifold. Here's just another view of that. That should hold.
The sleeve right here, you want to make sure you align this with the tabs, aligned with these tabs at the 9 o'clock position. So for this end that just has this flat plug, you need to try to align those at the 9 and 3 o'clock position. For this other plug that has the tab plug, it just automatically lines up to the 3 and 9 o'clock position when you put it in.
So after you have that set, you have these small little cup plugs right there, and then you'll just go ahead and place those as is.
So they're flush.
Give them a little tap until they're flush. Next thing you're gonna do is give them like a little stake, a little love tap on the side just to keep them in place. And there you go, that'll look something like that, just keep those in place. Then after that, we'll go ahead and grab our tubes, and then the other 2 O-rings on this hose. Get a little snap like that. And then other tube goes on the other side. Same thing on this one, throw on a retaining clip. Get some of that handy dandy coconut Vaseline and throw on that gasket. Pretty much how that's going to look. Obviously we're not going to put it on yet because we got to put the valve body on first. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the separator plate, which is only a few steps.
Alright, so the last modification what we are going to do is to our separator plate. We're going to install these 2 plugs right here. Technically these are optional from the instructions, or at least this one is optional. Either way, we use both plugs. We had a little issue with this since we're running the HD2 shift kit, and the separator plate on these are a little bit thicker.
Thickness right there, a little thicker than the stock ones.
The smaller one was just barely long enough. This bigger plug, we mushroomed this side, and then we staked the center of it, which kept it in place. And other than that, pretty good.
And another note, when you're doing this Sonnax kit, you are going to delete another check ball. That's going to be this bottom one right here. Now we only have 6 because we also, keep in mind, we did the HD2 shift kit, which deleted another check ball, which is that one. So if you don't have the HD2 kit, you should have 7. So now with the HD2 shift kit and the Sonnax kit, I only have 6 check balls. We'll throw in that first gasket and then our separator plate. Finally, the last mod, I forgot we still had to do this one, but it's going to be that delete plate. That's going to look something like that. And each of those bolts is going to be 97 inch-pounds. So we got our gaskets, this piece in. Now the valve body goes on.
Didn't get this before.
You want to make sure you line up your gear selector with the valve there. The only new sensor I did end up getting is this one. The other one was like super gunked up, didn't want to deal with it, so just got a new one, brand new OEM. Thought it'd be better just to replace that one. And then for all your screws, the torque is going to be 97 inch-pounds. Quick note, if you're considering doing this, make sure you put this on first before the valve body. We kind of had it was kind of tricky getting it on there. We had to put like the servo with the cover, with the gasket, all at once, at a certain angle to kind of get it in there. and then smack it flat. But good for the future. Definitely put this on first. And the bolts for that are going to be 18 foot-pounds. All we have left is throwing on the harness, pan cover, and fellas, it's a done deal. We have officially built the 1,000 horsepower 4L80. To be honest, not too bad. Like I said, if you built one of these before, pretty easy. If you want to do this, give it a shot, man. You got nothing to lose. It's either stock or already broken. You might as well fix it up.
Yeah, not too bad. You know, we already did this once before, so it gets a little bit easier.
Throw in a little bit of oil. Got the pan looking brand new now compared to before. You guys remember how we had the little slushy mess everywhere? Go ahead, throw in the pan and be done with it. And we throw on the pan just real quick. We're not obviously not going to be installing it right now, but for the most part, the complete build, there it is. Not too bad of a job, man. Not too bad of a job. A little pricey to get a setup like this. You know, down the road when you want to make more and more power, it only makes sense to do it. There it is though, man. 4L80 is officially done. Now we can finally move on to the 6.0 build. That's going to be even more fun. Ready to go, ready to install into the truck. I mean, technically we could just throw it in, obviously, because we still have the engine in there and we haven't started taking that apart yet. So we could test out the trans, or we could just trust the work that we did. I think we're going to trust it because I don't feel like putting the trans in, driving the truck, testing it, and then taking the trans out again, then taking out the engine. So kind of want to get the 6.0 build going and get that started so we can hurry up, get it put into the truck and put down some new numbers. So pretty much next step, we're going to have to put the truck down, get that good old LM753 out, break down the 6.0. We might as well go all out, do 900 horsepower, whatever the trans could do. Or we really got to get going on the 2JZ OBS. You guys know that's the next build. It's tucked away right here. But yeah, next content, next video is going to be the 6.0. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. In the next few weeks, we plan on bringing a new build to the channel. So all my Corvette people, make sure you stay tuned, man. But yeah, man, let's wrap this one up. Like, comment, subscribe to the boy. See you on the next one, man.